ッとこうやって、ここからこうかこう。
It's precisely because he's using two short wakizashi that such precise movements are possible.
で、ほいっつって、おーっつってこうやって。これでぐーっと圧かけてって制した瞬間にこれで刺す。下ろしてぐー。
皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Let's Ask Seki Sensei. I love to be a host Shogo from Let's Ask Shogo and this is Seki Sensei. 先生本日もよろしくお願いします。お願いいたします。今もうすでに持っていただいてるんですが、こちらですね、2頭の子たちを持っていただいているということで、これ実際海外の方からもコメントよく来るんです。やっぱり2頭というと一般的に内刀と小太刀と脇差し小太刀の2頭で長いやつと短いやつってたのが一般的なんですけども、短いやつ2つでいいんじゃないかとか、長いやつ2つじゃダメなのかっていう質問をたくさんいただいておりまして、When it comes to Nitoryu dual wielding, it almost always is fighting with long uchikatana and a shorter wakizashi. But does that mean fighting with two katana of the same length is weak? Let's find out. So today, Seki Sensei, the 22nd headmaster of kobudo, Asayama Ichiden with 400 years of history, will experiment what you can do with two wakizashi and two uchikatana. Fighting with two uchikatanas is especially intense, and has led to techniques that only someone like Katana Sensei could possibly avoid. So please, watch this video until the end. By the way, we have started a new online lesson on Sundays at 10:30 p.m. Japan time. Please check out our Patreon page for more information. So then, let's get started. First of all, let's ask Seki Sensei if there really aren't any Ryuha styles that fight with two katana of the same length.
あんまりないと思うよ。やっぱね、徳川300年の常識の方がね、時間長いのでね、大小二本差しっていうね。
During the Edo period, when the Tokugawa family ruled for 15 generations, samurai were required to carry a long uchikatana and a shorter wakizashi. Therefore, when fighting with two swords, it was common to use an uchikatana and a wakizashi. Samurai would almost never carry two swords of the same length. Even if someone was strong using two swords of the same length, such an act would be seen as a rebellion against the Tokugawa shogunate and considered an anti-social behavior. According to Seki Sensei, the only known example of using two swords of similar length involves a certain naginata ryuha, which has been techniques that use two swords of intermediate length between an uchikatana and a wakizashi. Other than that, he is not aware of any similar practices. Then let's actually have Seki Sensei fight with the two wakizashi.
ね。はっとこうね。で、ここで2頭分けて。はっとこうやね。で、ここからこうかとこう。
Tsukara Sensei couldn't hold his katana anymore and he even fell to the floor. What happened?
でこのままね、こういく中で2頭分けるんですよ。そうするとこうなるんです。こうなるんです。でこれはおまけ。
Asayama Ichiden has a similar technique as an official dual-wielding method. However, it's precisely because two short wakizashis are used that it becomes easier to perform taijutsu techniques, such as tripping the opponent. The first technique was a taijutsu technique, but there's also a kenjutsu application for it.
こうね。こういって。これ味噌なんですよ。これなんじゃないと思うでしょ。振り上げてね。こう上がんないの。ここはねコントロールできるんですよ。
This time he threw away the left wakizashi to hold his elbow and attacked the face with the right. It might look easy to resist just by raising your arm. However, due to the body's structure, when one's elbow is controlled in this way, raising one's arm becomes very difficult. Seki Sensei had one more idea for an attack toward the head and the body.
これはねこうなってくるな。で、ほいっつって、おーって言ってこうやって。で、ほいっつって、おーって言ってこうやって。これでぐーっと圧かけてって制した瞬間にこれで刺す。
If you move your wakizashi along your opponent's katana in close in, the opponent will instinctively try to evade. You follow closely and immediately cut their wrist. In Asayama Ichiden, we have a similar wakizashi kata, but because we have a second wakizashi in his left hand, he can thrust the suigetsu, the bit of the stomach too. So far, we've covered some complex techniques, but it's also possible to execute simple attacks like this.
面ときた。で、胴に来るでしょ。これも簡単だ、ほら。これも簡単だ、ほら。
He simultaneously pressed down the opponent's katana and cut their wrist.
これ1個しかないと体さばき必要になるんだよね。だけど2つあれば両方こうできるから。 でまたバシャッつってこう
都合がいいっすよねこれ。
都合がいいんですよ。
It's precisely because he's using too short wakizashi that such precise movements are possible. There are also ways to prevent the opponent from making the first attack.
この三角形の中これ入れるの、で正面からいなくなって相手と並ぶつもりで三角形の中に刀入れて相手と並ぶようなつもりでこのまま入ると。
This is an application of Asayama Ichiden's Utodori technique. When an opponent raises their sword with both hands, their arms and body naturally form a triangle. If you insert your hand or sword into that space, the opponent becomes powerless. During this moment, you can move to the side and cut their neck. But what if the opponent did a thrust attack instead of a swing down? This is what Seki Sensei would do.
突きをしていきます。
で巻き返してあげる。だこうで巻き返してあげる。だこう。
You might have been thinking, I would just pull my katana out of the cross and attack again. But even if you did that, Seki Sensei would use the kneeling technique to cut your wrist and thrust your suigetsu simultaneously. He thought up of another version of the kneeling attack.
でこれこう持ってる一個こう持ってると違うことになる。で
まだつける。
If he held the right wakizashi in a reverse grip, he could cut the crotch as he kneeled. Even if the opponent tries to retreat, he could quickly chase him and thrust the face. Our online lesson members of the Shunjo class would probably notice. But the final attack is originally a technique from one of the Shunjo kata. By the way, there's no such technique of holding one of the katana in a reverse grip in Asayama Ichiden. So this is indeed a new technique that Seki Sensei came up with on the spot. Well, if you can hold one in a reverse grip, what could you do if you hold them both in a reverse grip?
そしたら今度でこっから
This time, the opponent did a horizontal attack, and Tsukada Sensei was thrown to the floor again. What happened?
だからこうやったらここからこう渡ってでこうこ
うわ見せつけて見せつけて、下がるしかない。
うこの中途半端なのが困る。
You might think you couldn't stop the horizontal attack that easily. However, the truth is that Seki Sensei stopped the attack before they can fully exert their strength. You might also think it's not easy to make someone fall, but when the tip of the blade is pointed at their face like that, they have no choice but to back away. So, as a conclusion, how is it fighting with two wakizashi?
長えと思ったら短い短えと思ったら長くなるっていうこの間合いの翻弄させるメリットがなくなる。ただこういうところの取り回しは良くなる。
細かいことができるようになりますよね。
そうそうそう細かいことできるようになる。
With a usual combination of long and short swords, the different lengths create varying distances, which can be used to confuse the opponent. Although this advantage is lost, using two swords of the same length allows for taijutsu techniques and quick follow-up attacks that are impossible with the traditional long and short sword combination. Then lastly, let's have Seki Sensei fight with two long uchikatana.
S をこうパン、S をこうパン
と思ってついたらと思ってついたら
Seki Sensei came up with various techniques, but there was one that only someone like Tsukada Sensei could possibly avoid.
下ろしてグー下ろしてグー
Tsukada Sensei didn't even know what was coming. Being able to dodge like this is amazing.
こう入ってる。左の刀で流しといてこっち使う。
うわ
In conclusion, dual wielding uchikatana is very powerful due to their long reach, but it becomes difficult to perform precise movements, which could be a potential weakness. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching.
最初のところですね、ご説明していただいた通り、歴史的な観点から言うと、なかなかなかったと。いざやろうと思えばできますね。特にその短いからこそできること、長いからこそできることっていうのが違ったので、非常に面白いなというふうに思いました。So then everyone, if you enjoyed watching this video, learning about how to fight with two wakizashis or two uchikatanas, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. And our goal this year is to achieve 300 online lesson members. So if
if you're interested in taking amazing katana skills from Seki Sensei, please take a look at our Patreon page. 改めまして本当にありがとうございました。ありがとうございます。では、Thank you very much for watching this video. 皆さんどうもありがとうございました。Interested in learning katana skills from 22nd Headmaster of Kobudo Asayama Shinryu Seki Sensei? We hold the best online lessons with perfect English interpretation than anyone can access worldwide. Every lesson will be recorded for you to rewatch anytime, and official down ranks will be provided to prove your progress. Higher down rank holders will also be authorized to open their own dojo in the future. Join us in our ultimate dream of reviving the golden age of Asayama Shinryu, when there were 7,000 students of the style. Check out the description box or pinned comment to sign up now and for more information.